So there you go. So hello everyone. Good afternoon and good evening, depending upon from wherever you're joining in. So I'll just quickly set the context and then I will introduce myself and then I will hand over to Kunal because we have close to 50 minutes and Kunal is to cover a lot of topics. That is the theory plus the practicals. So I won't take much time. So I hope everyone is probably knowing me. Who am I? So my name is Rakesh and I lead this user group for specific region for Mumbai, that is Mumbai, India. In terms of my day-to-day activity, I've been actively involved in blogging and all sort of community activities, as well as any sort of sessions that is required on a specific topic of AI or for that matter, ERP. I'm also fast track recognized architect from Microsoft for Dynamics 365 ERP as well as the Microsoft MVP for business applications. As far as today's topic is concerned, we are going to more focus on Dynamics 365 Copilots. I hope everyone is now aware what is a Copilot. Still, there are a lot of things to be learned in terms of how to deploy the Copilots in the area of Dynamics 365 apps, as well as understand to enable them what sort of the key aspect that we need to understand for learning purpose, as well as if at all if you enable for your customers in any app of Dynamics 365, be it sales, marketing, and for that matter service, what sort of enablement we need and what sort of technical artifacts or in terms of the functional artifacts that we wanted to understand. So I think I'll take a pause here. Hand over mic to Kunal. Kunal, if you can just introduce yourself and then let's quickly start the activity what we planned for today for everyone.
Sure. Thanks, Rakesh. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you have joined. So, first of all, thank you, Rakesh, for giving me this opportunity to speak in this esteemed forum about Dynamics 365 Copilot. Uh, Let me quickly share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thanks. So today's topic is about Dynamics 365 Copilot. Let me start with my quick introduction. So I'm Kunal Chopra. I am a Power Platform Senior Solution Architect at Capgemini India. I am Microsoft Certified Power Platform Solution Architect and also an MCT. And I have also completed the TOGAF 9 certification. I have overall 15 plus years of experience in Microsoft Dynamics CRM, most of all the versions from 4.2 to 365 and Power Platform nowadays. And talking about my hobbies or the day-to-day activities, I love like I am tech enthusiastic, so love to learn new things. Also, I love blogging, most of all technical blogging, and I'm a traveler. You guys can connect me over the LinkedIn. I am having a LinkedIn over here. I'll be sharing that link in the chat as well at the end of the presentation. So that's about me quickly. Moving to the agenda for the today's presentation. So today's presentation is more of the introduction to Dynamics 365 Copilot. I think most of us are aware about the ChatGPT. So we would just want to highlight a quick difference between the ChatGPT and Copilot. What is the difference between these two? And thereafter, we'll be having the Dynamics 365 Copilot for sales, marketing, and service, where we'll be talking about the specific use cases as well as the demo and how to turn it on. So followed by that, we'll be discussing quickly on the how this Copilot works. So especially on the Dynamics 365 and Power Platform, followed by Q&A. As there are a lot of topics to be covered in today's presentation, so my request for everyone is like we'll have a Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions, please post it on the chat and we'll take it up at the end during the Q&A so that at least we can give justice to all the topics and then we have the time for Q&A where we can discuss those questions and in detail. To start with, the introduction of Dynamics 365 Copilot. So the Dynamics 365 Copilot is basically an AI-powered digital assistant, I would say, for business applications, especially in sales, service, marketing, till supply chain. And it has the capability of creating ideas, content, and also it can help from the benefit point of point of view. It can help to save the time it boosts the productivity because we will see in upcoming presentation that a lot of tasks are being done by Copilot. So that can reduce a lot of work for the agents to work on. Also, from the communication aspect, it helps to quickly create the communications, effectively reply to the emails or the chat responses. Not only that, it there is an NLP feature, that is natural language processing capability, which we'll be seeing in the marketing demo, where we can create segments and journeys as well with the help of NLP. So this is more of an overview of Dynamics 365 Copilot and how it saves over time and why it is important. Now, talking about like what is the difference between the Chat GPT and Copilot. So the Chat GPT is basically a general purpose large language model. So it is more of the LLM, and it is being trained by OpenAI with the large set of data where most of us have already used it. So where we can have a human-like conversations, and it is not confined to only one specific topic. It is being trained on large set of topics, and it helps us to create some content like essays, poems, and also from the some of the models can also help on the code generation part as well. Similarly, so this is basically similarly, we have other LLM models for the images as well, like Delhi can generate the images for us. So ChatGPT is more of the text generating model. And if we talk about the Copilot stuff, so Copilot is basically a digital assistant, as I talked about, and it is actually leveraging the large language model like GPT. Okay, and it is in the combination of the organization's data. So to make it more relevant, so if you're talking about specific industry where we are implemented Dynamics CRM or Dynamics 365 CE or any FNO, so over there, whatever the data that we have specific to that particular customer, it will actually contextualize to that particular data. So that's the difference. So it's not the large language model. It is basically a combination of a large language model and the uh, Dynamics 365 or the organization data that it is using it. And from the use case point of view, definitely we'll be covering in detail like what are the use cases it is going to have it. To start with the Dynamics 365 Copilot for marketing. So over here, I am trying like if we have a limited time, so I just try to highlight some of the key features of the Copilot. But to give a from the use case point of view, understand to give a more better understanding. I have just divided into the broad segments of the marketing, like the customer segmentations, the journeys, email marketing, and campaign and lead. And over here, how Copilot can help. So starting with the segmentations, so Copilot can actually help us to uh, create some segments. So for the that's a customer insight on the top of which we can have some of the suggestions coming off the Copilot. Also, we can generate some of the segments. So we can not all, we can generate all the segments from the natural language. So that is what we'll be also seeing from the customer journeys perspective. How Copilot can help is basically it can help us to create some of the journeys through the natural language, which I'll be also demonstrating. From the marketing perspective, it helps us to create some of the rich content emails. So right now it is at the text, it is generating at the text level, but there is also an image capability which will be coming up. Similarly, for we can generate some of the campaign flyers and the other marketing material with the help of the Copilot. So these are the high level use cases I see. And without further ado, let me just log in and show you how Copilot work for Dynamics 365. So right now I have logged in into the Dynamics 365. And as you can see, it's basically the customer insight journey app that I have logged in. And over here, I can going to demonstrate the feature of the Copilot for the segment. So if I'll click on new segment over here. So to give a context, I am basically from a marketing team. And as a part of the marketing team, I want to get a segment of all the customers or the contacts who are there in New York and having the annual income greater than 80K. So for that, what we like just for the ease of the demo, I just kept it over here. So I'll just say the New York customers. This is the name of the segment I gave. And from the query assistant perspective, I'll be just giving like the contacts live in New York and annual income greater than 80K. As soon as I entered this, you can see over here, there are the other suggestions which are coming up, which can also help the marketing team to come up with different segments that they want to create. So for me, it is right now, the contacts live in New York and annual income greater than 80K. I just need to hit create and the next screen comes up. So over here, we can see the processing has started. And what we can see is from the natural language, it has identified the attributes or the basically the fields on which we want to query. So I'll just click on use and then you will be able to understand like, yeah. So it has identified that I just mentioned live in New York and it has identified like, okay, the state or province is New York and the annual income field. So over here, it is saving a lot of time from the perspective of the marketing team to just go and check for the fields. Like if else they need to go over here, check out the fields and just uh, so like enter the details and stuff like that. So this is something as a lot of productivity gain that they can have. And if I say click on estimate to see how many there are 59 members that are there in this segment that I have. And what I'll do is I'll just say ready to use. So this is going to create a segment. So segment is getting ready to use. So let us wait for a few seconds. Yeah, it is ready. So now my segment is ready. And now I want to use this segment in my customer journey. So that's another use case for like where I want to have a journey to be created on this segment. Over here again, where Copilot can help me is I'll just click on journey. I'll click on new journey. And I can see that, okay, it has came up with a lot of examples like, do you want to create a journey like sending a promotional email based on the targeting the loyalty members, or I want to have a follow. And after that, if they are not opening the email, send a follow-up email and stuff like that. So for me, the journey right now, what I'm looking for is like I want to send out the promotional email. And if they don't, and after 2 days, I want to give an exclusive deal to them. So over here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have this text entered. So which says like send promotional email to all customers that are part of my segment New York customers. So this is a segment which I just now created. And after 2 days, send them an exclusive email offer. And let me see what I meanwhile it is creating a journey for us. Let's see. Okay, so you can see that it has identified the segment that is the New York customers. It has came up with a journey that will contact the New York customers, send an email, wait for 2 days and send email. Again, this is something from the natural language. It has created the journey for us. I just need to click on create journey. And as you can see, this has become so easy for the marketing team to come up with the journeys quickly based on the natural language. And over here, the third use case which we were discussing was like, okay, the email content creation. So let's see that. So over here in the promotional emails, I want to send out an email. So let's say I want to send out an email one. So email one is already something which I have it as a part of my promotional email. And I can see like how Copilot can help me to file this email. So over here, for the demo purpose, I just kept it like a small line, like, okay, this is the fashion industry, and I am just promoting my latest the fashion pieces over here. So there is a text over here that is being written, get ready for a fresh look with our latest arrival. And over here, if I click on rewrite, and get ideas. So this is basically the Copilot prompt, which is actually going to give me the different options. So yeah, so I'm not happy. I don't like this, so I can just use this the alternate text. So that is a get ready to upgrade your wardrobe with our newest collection. I think this looks good, and I'll just click on insert. So this is how it can actually update the email. The other aspect is also we can draft an email. So let me show you that as well. I'll say discard changes for now. And I'll say like, okay, I want to create a new email. I'll just skip this part and I'll say add the text over here. And as soon as I click on text, there is a Copilot prompt over here. And one thing which I forgot to highlight is yes, the Copilot is still in a preview mode. It is going to be a GA soon. So yeah, but in a preview, as far as I see, like There is no major glitch that I found. And over here, while generating the text, what we need to give is only the key points. So once we start giving the key points like discount 10%, add another key point, and we'll say like get ideas. After that, it will generate an email for us, and that email generation will be like the promotional email, and it is actually going to take the content that is being used in past. So whatever the templates that I have as ready to send, it is going to create the content based on those ready to send templates along with the large language models that is being trained by Microsoft. So that this is how it is going to generate based on the key points. And so yeah, so this was about the main features of the marketing, like the segment creation through natural language processing, same for customer journey, and the promotional emails or any emails that we want to create. It can rewrite the content and it can generate the emails as well. Now, the next part of it where we are interested is in like, okay, how to turn on this? Again, like the turning on is quite simple. So over here, we just need to go to the settings in the customer insights journey app. I click on the feature switches. So when I click on feature switches, I can get the individual features option where I can see the email editor is, I can see this Copilot preview I turned on. And as soon as that, the last use case, which we are discussing, that Copilot capabilities will coming up. Similarly for the journeys and journey, this is the one where we can turn on this. So it is actually available as a part of feature switches. So there is nothing required more on the configuration side that we need to do. It's like very quick and easy to start with. So yeah, so this was about the use case that I want to cover for the marketing part. Now let's move to the next part of the demo, that is about the Dynamics 365 Copilot for sales. So now the sales team usually the works with the lead management, opportunity management, quotes and invoice and other, and the sales collaboration. So over here we are going to target main functionalities related to the lead management, opportunity management, and collaborations, and how Copilot can help us. So from the lead management perspective, what Copilot provides us as a capability is it is generating the summary of that lead. Also, we'll be saying that, okay, it can help us to prepare for the meeting. So based on the past emails and the past text or the notes that has been captured in the system, it helps us to provide us the prompts and the notes to be ready for my upcoming meeting, which I'll showcase in my demo. The next is an opportunity management. Over here also, it is more of like a AI generated opportunity summary that will be provided. And from the sales collaboration perspective, it is actually having a lot of features which are GA, and those are like on top of the Viva sales, where we can connect to it is an add-in to the Microsoft Outlook and the Teams, and where it can generate the conversations summary. So based on it can from the transcripts and the call recordings of the Teams, it can generate a summary for your meeting. It can summarize along emails, and also it can have a deal room facility where based on the opportunities that we have, it will create a separate channel called for that particular opportunity to collaborate more. So this is more from the sales collaboration perspective. So yeah, so we'll go into the demo for the sales part of it. So for this, I have logged in into the another app, and that is the Sales Hub app. Okay, and over here in the Sales Hub app, I have logged in, and I can see that okay, I have the leads. These are my open leads. Let me go to the all leads view, where I can see that okay, the budgets and the lead source and other details related to that particular lead. And for the Sales Copilot, what we can do is we have a Sales Copilot widget available over here, and I just click over here and I can see that, okay, it give me the prompts like, okay, what I want to have. So I'll start like, okay, summarize the lead, and then it will ask which lead am I referring to? And over here, I am referring to the lead called James Petrit. So if I just typed in, I can get the suggestions. I click over here and it is generating a summary for me. Now, this summary that is being generated is also configurable based on the fields that we define, and I'll show you how. Now this basically over here we can see that lead is being looking for a flooring budget. So right now I am using a use case of the industry that is related to the home furnishing, and my lead is looking for the flooring renovation and the budget of $7,000, based out of New York, and came to know from the word of mouth, and it can be preferred contact is any method, so can be contacted through email, phone call, anything. So this is how the summary came up, and I have not logged in since last 3 hours. Okay, so is there any change that has happened on my lead, or if there is any update that has happened? So if I can, that is something which I can get it over here as well. So if there is some email conversation, so no, nothing has happened to me. So it's gave me that okay, since you last logged in 3 hours ago, there's nothing change has been happened. But if there is any update that has been done by any of the team members in the sales team, or any email conversation or anything that has happened on that particular lead, it would have given me a prompt over here. So now if I just open this particular lead, that is a James Petrat, and over here I can see that, okay, uh, this is a lead, and over here it has automatically generated a lead summary, same lead summary for me. So that was being generated from the view. You can see that lead summary is being created over here. And also, I am having a meeting with James today about my flooring requirement. So, sorry, about his flooring requirement. And so I will say like, okay, can you please prepare me for the today's meeting? And I have a couple of meetings over here. So it promptly asked me, okay, which meeting are you referring to? So I'm referring to the flooring requirement meeting. So I'll say like, okay, please prepare me for that meeting. And it has generated some text, okay, based on the past conversations that has happened, or the emails that I came up from James, or any discussion that has happened with James. So I can see that, okay, James is renovating and looking for a wooden flooring. Oh, okay, that's a good prompt to me, that okay, the flooring requirement that James has is like the choice of James is of a wooden flooring. So that's actually helped me. And there are other notes or the email conversations on the budget or anything that is being discussed. It come up over here as a summary, which is really helpful for any of the sales team member to know before they get into the meeting with that particular um, lead. So this is how the meeting summary comes up. Sorry, this is how the notes comes up for that particular meeting and get me ready for that. And and also if I say like, okay, can you please show me the catch up on the lead? Okay, so what all changes that has happened on this particular lead? And it will ask me, okay, which lead am I referring to? So let me say James. Let's say over here. Okay, so this is how it will generate the last 10 updates that has happened on the lead. So, and this is again based on the audit history, again configurable, what all fields update that I want to know. So suppose if there is something that has happened, the change on the budget side or on the topics or anything that has happened, which is critical for the sales team, they can just set up that, configure that, and they can see the catch up. They can catch up quickly on the lead, and this also helps them to prepare before any meeting. So this is a really a great feature which can help me to catch up as a sales agent before I get into the meeting with the leads. So this was about the lead for Copilot. If I move to the opportunities side, and I can see there is an opportunities. Then I have three opportunities over here, and over here, the similar options are there with the lead, and it will say like, okay, can you just summarize opportunity? I'll say wood and flooring. So I'll just now, James has been qualified, and now we have an opportunity for James. Okay, so now this is uh, the discussion. Sorry, this is the summary of the opportunity. I can see as a potential customer, and the estimated close date is 11th November. Sorry, 10th of November, and the estimated revenue that I can see. And right now, the status is open. This is again configurable from the fields that I can select for which I want to generate a summary. I'll open this particular opportunity. So the James with whom I was discussing now, the lead is qualified and we are entering into the proposal phase so that at least I can submit the codes. And over here, again, I am going to have a meeting with James. So I'll say prepare for today's meeting, and I can see like, okay, final proposal discussion, and I'll say prepare. So now this is something in context to the discussion that has happened to this particular opportunity. So the first thing remains the same, that James is renovating and looking for a wooden flooring that we see in the lead. So that has been carried over. But there is more detail to it because that is James's needs a quote for the wooden flooring installation, including the underlayment. So the code that we need to provide is not only about the material, but including the installation, and that too specifically for some of the underlayment requirements that James has. So yeah, this is some of the code insight. Again, the same configurations and the technology works over here. It is based on the conversations and the notes and the emails that are required for that particular opportunity. And so yeah, so this was about the leads and the opportunities that how Copilot can help us. And now let us look at how we can configure this. So let me just go to the app settings. And in the app settings, I have the Sales Copilot over here. And if I look at the Sales Copilot, then I can see over here there is a record summary where I can see the all opportunities. And over here, I can select the fields. So basically, these are the fields on which the opportunity summary was being generated. So if I select some other view, then it is going to generate an opportunity summary from those views. Similarly, for the leads, I have selected all leads, and these were the fields were based on which the lead summary was being generated. So this is again where quite configurable, where we want to have uh, the summary generated specifically for some of the fields, then we can have this configured over here. Record catch-up is something that we have seen about the audit history, which is there for both lead and opportunity. And again, over here, as we can see, it has been created with the last 10 updates in the audit history. And again, over here, I need to select the view, and I can select the view, and whatever view I have selected, all those fields in this view will be coming up as the record catch-up. So again, this is configurable. And the component is more of the email generation part over here. So this was about the Copilot capabilities from the uh, perspective of lead and opportunity, and that is the lead management and opportunity management. The other part which I was discussing was about the deal room and the sales collaboration. Unfortunately, due to some technical challenges in my environment, I'm not able to showcase that, but I want to give a glimpse of that. So basically, the deal room setup, as I mentioned so over here, is something as you can see on the screenshot over here is like I can see the wooden flooring. That was the opportunity that I had. And based on that opportunity, there was one Teams channel being created. And as you remember, the James has asked for the code, including the installation. So over here, it gives me a capability to add my installation team, inspection team, all the teams, so that I can work together with them and prepare a code. And over here in the files tab, it is coming up with the specially curated folder structure, which is required by any of the sales team. And those folder structure, they can actually keep all those details specific to that particular opportunity or the documents or whatever the files that they're generating. And also they can have a notes where they can collaborate together very well. Also, there is on the post side, it is generating the AI, it is generating the opportunity summary. So these are the capabilities which are there as a part of the sales collaboration, which is quite interesting and being very helpful to the sales team. So this was about the sales collaboration. Moving to the third aspect of the presentation, that is Dynamics 365 Copilot for Service. Now, the Copilot for Service is more focused on the service management and to improve customer experience. And as we know, like the customer experience is the key for any of the industry right now, because that would help them to generate more business and bring more value to the customer. So from the service management perspective, the features that I'm going to demonstrate today are related to the case summary. So what it can do is it can generate the summary of the case. It can also generate the conversation summary. So like if we have the contact center setup where we are doing the basically the where there is a chat between customer and the contact center agent. It's been a long chat, and then we can quickly generate a conversation summary from that particular chat. Respond to questions in real time. This is something which I will also showcase. So this is based on the knowledge articles. So we can configure the knowledge articles, and based on the knowledge articles, it is going to respond. The other aspect is the generate email from with the resolution with specific. So there's something which it can also help to generate the emails with the different themes, which we'll see in the demo, like resolve customers' queries, or it can be about resolving some of the customer issues, or it can be under responding to an inquiry or responding to some of the queries that customer had. So we have a specific themes, and based on those specific themes, the specially curated content will be coming up, and the emails is being generated. So these are the key features from the Dynamics 365 app perspective. The other features that are really interesting, which is a part of Power Platform and not in the scope of this particular presentation, but would like to talk about is a PVA. So the PVA has a very good, that is a Power Virtual Agent, has a very good Gen AI capabilities, and those Gen AI capabilities are not only confined to these particular knowledge articles, but it has a lot more than that. And we can provide our website links, and based on which it can reply. We can provide the documents. So whatever the documents that we have, we can upload those documents, and based on those documents, it will be generating those it would responding to the answers. It's something like a chat GPT where, but again, confined to that particular the domain or particular customer's boundaries that we want to reply. And again, it is having a connector with Azure OpenAI as well. So PVA is the separate topic which itself take around like some time to explain how it works and what are the capabilities are there. But talking about customer experience, yes, there's a lot of enhancement over there as well. Uh, Now, without getting further ado, like let me go to the demo for this particular piece. So service management. Now the James, what we were discussing, like okay, is happy and it has gone to the sales cycle and has completed the flooring and the installation is being done, and somehow the but James is not happy. Okay, so what the he got the deal he was looking for, but from the service perspective, uh, the James is not happy, and James has written a long email to the team. So this is the long email that is being written by the James, where he is complaining about the delay that has happened. So there is around the 4 days delays. It was being committed initially about the 4 days for the space, the small space he was looking for the renovation, but it took more than 2 weeks. Again, the it's not up to the date quality, and he is really frustrated. And he wrote an email to the furnishing company, and as a part of this, the email to case conversion, the case is being created over here that we see right now. So now the case is being created for that particular email from that particular email, and what and this being a very long email, it would take some time, but thanks to the Copilot. There is a case summary feature over here where I can just click on the summarizing the case, and it has within few seconds generated a summary for me. So over here, with the context of what is being written in the email, it has generated a very good summary for me that saying that it has completed the installation was scheduled to be completed 4 days. It took 2 weeks. The quality of one vector work is unsatisfactory. The issues are related to surface gaps, visible scratches, and there is no response. He is trying to reaching out to the guy who has done installation, but no response and requesting compensation and the additional cost that has been delayed due to this delay that has happened. It would have been difficult for the customer service agent to actually copy and understand and have the summary generated. But now with the Copilot, it's quite easy and to generate this summary, and I can just save it, and the my case summary is ready. So now this is one of the feature where the case summary can be generated. The other capability is about the email or the text generation. So let me just show that as well. Now I just want to resolve this query of James. So I just click on reply to all. And once I click on reply to all. So this is Copilot one, and this is the service one. And as soon as I open the reply to all email, as I can see over here, I need to reply to James. So let me just write. Not sure why it didn't came up. So it has to be James. Okay, and I click on reply to all, and I can see there are options coming up as a Copilot over here. And these were the options I was referring to: suggest a call. It can generate a template for that, request more information, empathize with the feedback, provide product or service details, resolve customers' problem. Okay, so over here, that's the best one that I can see, where I can click on resolve customers' problem, and I can see like, okay, what all the how can I resolve that particular problem of James? As there is an option where you can describe what you want, and based on the input that has been provided, similar to the keywords that we have, it is going to generate an email for us. But now this looks good to me. I'll click on resolve customer's problem. Yep, I can see that there is a long email being generated. So uh, I have then the address you want to concern that, okay, step one document, that's okay. So it has actually generated a long email, and where the step-by-step guide is being provided, and based on which, oops, sorry, we click on that again. Yeah. So it has actually generated a long email, and that is basically giving the negotiate the fair resolution, propose solutions, and request for resolution plan, and stuff like that. And the this is something which the resolution email being generated, which is quite big, and that is another feature which I want to highlight is okay, because this is not 100% factual. Okay, as Microsoft also claiming this an AI generated, it is a co-pilot where we are on the driving seat, and we also need to be cautious. Okay, what is being replied, and if and how this reply is coming up, again it is based on the knowledge article. So if I click over here, there is a knowledge article that has been written, and in this particular knowledge articles, there are the long steps that has been highlighted. So which this particular copilot is referring to. So resolving customer flooding issues, and I can see that okay, there is a long article that is being referred over here. Okay, so this is how the resolution is coming up, because it is taking up from my knowledge article, so which has been configured over here. Okay, so I'll just click on copy, but I'm not going to write this long email. So this gives me an opportunity to just modify this email and make it a little bit convenient that, okay, what are things I need to keep, what I things I need to remove. But yeah, at least I know what is the resolution process now. So with this, I think was we will reply that James would be definitely happy with the resolution. But also, I want to highlight the another part of the service Copilot is there is another capability called Ask a Question. So this is specifically required when we are having the call center or contact center setup, where actually the we are getting a call. So over here, consider a scenario: James has directly called up and asking some of the difficult questions, which the customer service agent doesn't know on how to interact and how to reply. So this would be really beneficial. So say for example, customer is right now, if we talk about the James, so like just type a query like customer is requesting compensation for flooring not done properly. Can we offer some compensation? And let's see what it replies. Yeah, so based on the information provided in the relevant document, the flooring is not done properly. And so it is actually referring to some of the email conversations as we are opened in the context of the James. And the goal should be mutually agreeable solutions and the requires. And again, it is providing some resolution. But if you look at the KB article, it is referring to the same KB article, but it has came up with small paragraph over here that is related to the compensation, and it has contextualized based on that particular query of compensation. So this is how even the conversation way it can help and suggest a response toward the conversation. So this is going to be a really helpful to the customer service agents uh, to not to look into the KB articles in detail and provide the contextual response. So yeah, so this was about the use case perspective of customer service for and the Dynamics 365 Copilot, let's look at the how to configure it. So now we have logged into the customer service hub where I was showcasing this all. But from the configuration perspective, we need to go to the customer service admin center. In the customer service admin center, we need to go to the productivity tab. Inside the productivity tab, we can see there are the options available like Copilot help pane and the summaries. And if I click over here, it is going to give me an option like, okay, I want to make a Copilot available to chat or email. We have seen both the options because I activated on both. So this was about the chat and email. And also we can see there is a knowledge article base is ready. So what is the knowledge articles we are adding over here? Those knowledge, sorry, whatever the knowledge articles being added over the knowledge article repository. Uh, right now it is considering the once in a day refresh. So it will take like once you have uploaded, whenever that batch job or behind the scenes that job will run, and it will actually, so it is actually 10:43 a.m. India time. This has been executed and my article was being considered. So if we have more articles to be added, we just add those articles and the next cycle will run and those articles will also be considered for the for the use for that response through Copilot. Also, we can add the trusted pages as a sources. So this is another feature where not only the knowledge article, but if we have some FAQ website pages, so we can consider those as well. I can add my web address and it can actually uh, start considering those for the responses. So this was about the configuration part, how we can turn on and case summary that we saw, we can make it available over here through this option. So yeah, so this was about the configurations and the service demo. Okay, so we have covered all the major use cases, that is sales, marketing, and service. Now let's see how this magic happens. Okay, so this is basically the high level diagram from Microsoft site again, and about the Copilot. So to start with, like Copilot is basically there is like they call it like Microsoft calls it Copilot system, which is again an orchestrator on the processor on uh, three main fundamental technologies, I would say. The first technology is the Microsoft apps. Okay, so the Microsoft apps includes whatever the app that are coming up, like the Power Apps or the Dataverse, or if we talk about Microsoft 365 Copilot, then Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and all those things. The other Microsoft, the fundamental technology or the on which it is working is Graph API. So Graph API is being used by Copilot for basically contextualizing the data that is there in the emails, conversations, meetings, or the chat that has happened. So that is being, and that is again based on the consent given by that particular organization. It uses it. And the third and the most important one is the LLM. So that is based on the large language model. So this large language model is, as we started the session with ChatGPT, so it actually helps on the text generation model. Now, if we talk about the flow of how the things work from the Copilot perspective is, so we have seen that we as a user has entered the prompt to a Copilot. So that is an input that is coming up to the Copilot. We call it as a prompt. Now that prompt undergoes the pre-processing, which is known as a grounding, and is being passed to this Dataverse and Graph API. So over here, the Dataverse and Graph API, based on the text input being provided, it actually processes it. It does the validation, and based on those validation, if it finds that okay, this is relevant to the data that we have, then it will pass on that particular uh, the prompt response to the LLMs. Now, LLM, the job of LLM is basically, now request is being made to LLM. The job of LLM is basically to generate the natural language or the interactive way that we have seen, like the email generated or text conversation generated. So it will generate the text for whatever it will generate the text, the human readable text, and how we understand. So natural language text will be generated around that particular data, and it will be again passed on to this particular Dataverse and Graph API for the post processing. That is a validation, and the next level of validation will be done on the aspects of compliance, security, and there are many other things that it does it as a part of the post processing. And once it finds that everything is okay, then the response is being given back to the user. So this is how it works. So and over here, like as just to quick recap, like the prompt comes up over here, the pre-processing is being done, it is being sent to the large language models, where the natural AI text comes up, again it comes back over here for the post-processing, everything looks good, and then it is being sent it back to the user as the response. And again, this is not something which goes in a really iterative way, and where it keeps on learning. So that is the how this Copilot is working. Also, the other question that usually comes up, okay, that from many clients is like, okay, is Copilot going to use the customer's data or the organization data for training or AI model generation training? The answer is no. Copilot is not at all using any of the data from for the training purpose. It is a large language model, so it is in the real time as we see over here. The prompts has been passed and it is being the response is being provided over here. So there is nothing related to the data processing over here. The third question that comes up usually is about the data processing. So the North America and the Europe. So basically, predominantly this feature is available by default for all the sales, service, and marketing in North America, and the processing is being done in North America as well as for some of the I think for service, and also there is a processing center available in Europe as well. So it is being processed in Europe. But word of caution from what I see is like the data might get crossover for the processing part into a different region. And for the other regions, apart from North America and Europe, those features are available either in a preview or in the either as a preview or as the GA, but the processing will be taking care in the cross regions, that is North America and Europe. So I have actually the links which I'll be sharing at the end of this presentation, which talks about this the learning links and also the Copilot and the regional and the language support, because uh, whatever the text that we have entered till date or till now in the presentation is English, but it does support the some of the other languages as well. And this is the it has Microsoft has given a nice chart of this link. Okay, what type of capabilities available in which language and in which region. So I'll be sharing this learning links as well with you guys. And yeah, with this, I will leave this forum open for the questions that we have any. I'll just stop presenting so that at least I can see the question. Yes, Weber.
Kunal, Vaibhav here. Yeah.
Yes.
Two quick questions. One we saw, thank you very much for the session, first of all. One thing I wanted to check is this Copilot, we are saying that it is kind of a assistant, right? The Copilot is assisting us on the data, whatever is present in the dataverse and whatever command we are prompting in. Now, is there any where we can use it to the next level, as in the recommendation or the next best action? This is the case history or the customer history, because these are all, I would say, static data, but it is presenting us on the form or the page. Is there any recommendation or the logic related to that, which, let's say, AI related content, which it is pushing to the end user or the officer to avoid or increase the probability of conversion?
Yeah, so basically there is one session which I was attending where I came to know that
Okay.
this is going to run on the Dataverse itself. So there will be there are features coming up which will be running on the entire Dataverse level. So right now what we have seen for opportunity and lead, that was really limited to few fields, and I think your question is more of like can it run on the more Dataverse field and can we configure it and show it in a way we want? So there are capabilities that is going to come up. Right now the option that I see is more from the like limited. Again, it's in a preview feature, like to just explore more on Azure OpenAI. But this is something even I have never tried, but something worth
Okay.
exploring.
Okay.
But something coming up as a Dataverse part. So not as of now, but the entire Dataverse will be available for, and that feature is already there as a part of Power Apps. So if we build any Power Apps, so and the Copilot is there on Dataverse Power App. So I have built one app which actually was an expense management basic app. And I say like, okay, how much expense I did in August? And it gave me a summary of that particular expense. Then I said by category, then it gave me by category as well. So those type of things will be coming up in Dynamics 365 app as well, but it will be some time because it's still in preview. So yeah.
Okay, okay. No, thank you so much. And one last question. Is there any
Yes.
report or mechanism to identify the utility of Copilot in my organization? I know it
Yes,
comes with the
there is.
enterprise license. It is for, yeah.
Yes. So yes,
Yeah, yeah,
there
please.
is a way. Yeah, there is a way. That is something which I can share you the link of. There is a Copilot utility for service where I can see like how much Copilot is being utilized in what all sessions, and it will give me a very nice dashboard. So I'll be sharing you the link with you offline on the LinkedIn. So there is a feature available, yes, where we
Yeah,
can see the utilization as well.
sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And there's some question about licensing as well. Is it something where you want to check about licensing or?
Yeah, I think it comes along with the enterprise license for free.
Yes,
We are
yes,
buying
it
that.
did.
Okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So right now there
Yeah.
is no additional cost available being charged by Microsoft. It comes with an enterprise license. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Makarand.
Hey, hi Kunal. Hi Rakesh.
Yeah.
Kunal, I'm just having. Can you come again on the last part that you mentioned about the data processing? I mean, the data can go from one region to other region, and are there like, do you see any challenges for a BFSI customer which use a Dynamics CRM? I mean, in this case.
So yeah, so from the I'll be sharing those links with you where the Microsoft is referring to. If it's possible, I can share right away. So basically, what the data might get, it is not like for sure, but there are links where it is saying that the data might get transferred to the cross regions for the processing perspective, and that is something which needs to be taken care of. So that is something we need to be careful whenever we are proposing to the customer. So uh, and yeah, I am not able to find that link right away, but I will share that link. So this is what I want to show. Let me quickly share my screen and show you guys. So this is the region availability for analytics and insights. And yeah, so these are like the features not available in South Africa, Korea, and Norway right now for the service specifically. These are the features available. And for the processing part, I will be sharing that link where the Microsoft has highlighted it might get uh, like transferred to another region. But usually for the Europe and North America, I would say it is they are taking the utmost care. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll share
Okay.
that link.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes, Yogesh.
Yeah, you already answered my both the question, Kunal. So first regarding the
Okay.
customer data, second is a region. So because the region also in
Yeah.
Europe, I guess we have the same challenge. So because as per my understanding and discussion with Microsoft, they mentioned that whenever you enable this feature, they always ask you consent because they know that for some
Yes.
feature, some model, your data will go to the US region.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, that's I guess that's fine. But regarding the customer data, you mentioned that this LLM model definitely need to be trained. If it's not used
Hmm.
by the customer data, then how Microsoft actually training that model then?
No, so actually what they are training is they are training me like a chat GPT, okay? So chat GPT is being trained like on a vast topic on some of the general topics. Okay, so as I have explained over there, the data that is being used is only for uh, the contextualization, like from the Graph API or from Dataverse. The data is being taken for contextualization, then it is being sent to LLM, where LLM will convert it to the particular natural language like something that we have it for chat GPTs respective to that. And then it will come back to that particular graph API for again post processing, and then it is being sent. So it is they are not considering our data, like customers' data. Say, for example, the flooring industry that I was furnishing industry that I was referring to. It will not take the James data or any budget or any constraints or any of the opportunities for that, and it will just, as we have seen, it will just take the data uh, for the processing perspective. It is just taking the input and just giving me based on that natural language processing. It will just giving me the output like email response or so. So it is actually not considering any of the customer data. It is generating. It is taking some of the data of knowledge articles. But again, knowledge articles is something which are related, which we don't have any specific data related to the customer. So these are like general articles that we upload. So those type of information is there, but customer data is not considered for the training the model. That's what.
Yeah, but still it's organization data, right? So if take an example of knowledge article, that is also belong to the specific organization and it's not available public to all. So, but then still they're reading the data, they process it. But I hope they are not storing it anywhere, right? They just
No,
use
no,
for
no.
the
They are not.
processing only.
It is only on the real-time processing. So whatever the articles that I have gone through, they are actually processing on a real time, and they are not storing anything. And it is a real-time processing that they are doing at the AI level. So they are giving utmost care on that. Hence, this model will not work. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kunal and Rakesh. Yeah.
Okay. So Rakesh, do you have any question on the chat?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Navneet, would you like to ask a question?
Yeah, thanks, Rakesh. So Kunal, starting from the sales part. So you showed that you chose the options for summarizing the lead and opportunities, right? So do we
Mm-hmm.
get an option to just write it in natural language and get the answers?
So basically, it is coming up with some of the prompts, the basic prompts only. So yeah, those basic prompts that we have, like summarize. I tried with some of the prompts from my side, but it didn't work. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the second thing I was going to ask was the case summary box that you showed. So that thing works only in out of the box form, or we can use custom forms for that as well.
So there is a special article on Microsoft Docs for the case announcement form. So basically to enable that particular case summary.
Mhm.
So I think we can connect on LinkedIn. I can share you that. So I have seen that particular configurations from Microsoft that we need to do to turn on that. So particular case summary prompt only. So yeah, to turn on
Okay.
those settings. Yeah.
Sure.
So there is a
Then
guidance from Microsoft on that. So like how we can have it on our existing forms and new forms.
okay.
Kunal, I
And
can see there is one more. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead, Navneet. Sorry.
thank you. No, last thing was regarding the data. So I think that you have already cleared on that. So thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Kunal, there
And
is
again,
one
this
more
is a new.
question. Yeah,
Okay.
go
Yeah.
ahead, Kunal. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Again, like I want to say, this is a new field which even I'm also learning. So some things might be worth if you guys are having. So please let us connect over the LinkedIn offline and share more to learn more. Yes, Rakesh. Like, what is the other
Yeah,
question?
there is a one more
Sorry,
question
somehow I
from
am not able to
Lakshman.
see the chat window. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Lakshman is having one question. Can we use a Copilot for field service app, and when will it be
Yes.
available as a GA? Currently, it is exist for only US region, and when it will be available for UK and other regions. Do you have any idea on that, Kunal?
Answer is like first, yes, there is a Copilot available for field service. And the other answer is, sorry, I don't have any dates for the Europe region. They have released the for the sales, marketing, and service for other regions. So I think soon it will be coming up for field service as well. So yeah. So I unfortunately I don't have any date for that. Sorry.
Okay, okay. Anyone has any question? Yeah, there is
Yeah,
one more
one more
question.
question from my
Yeah,
side.
Navneet.
So I also see a get latest news for accounts part of it, for accounts in Sales Copilot. So in that, we only get an option to search on Bing, or we can optimize that.
This is something which even I haven't explored much. Copilot for HR is something, Rakesh, that you are aware of as part of ERP or so. Like basically, like yeah, this is something which I didn't got a chance. I'll be very honest over here. So didn't got a chance to explore on ERP side
Because
and HR and all.
I have tried a few things on that, and
Mhm.
I also always get some non-relevant articles popping up on that. When I try get latest news on leads in Sales Copilot.
Okay.
So I was thinking if we can customize it with Google search or any other search for that matter.
Okay. Okay. So Customization, yes, it is possible, but again, like that would require some data to be given to other organization. Like basically, there is a data risk over there, right? So for the
Yeah.
processing perspective and AI training perspective, which I think again, like because Microsoft is also doing it with utmost care. So if we are giving it to Google or any other training modules like learning modules, LLM, so there is a risk I can see at least Navneet over there.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Ankit, there are Copilot for FNO as well. I think you can see the chat window. I just try to provide a reference of some of the link from Microsoft Learn. I think 2 days ago also they have launched a new Copilot for demand and planning capabilities. Just go through it, you'll come to know. Kunal, I have one question. As we talked about, as it's a learning journey, right? For a Copilot for
Yep.
Dynamics 365, whether it's a customer engagement side of the story or ERP or HR side of the story, right? And as you mentioned earlier, this is built on a large language model, which is predominantly focusing on train the data and try to see what best we can do. And we have, as a partner or as a learner, right? We have a very limited access to train our data on the existing model. In fact, we don't know what type of large language model that Microsoft is currently being used to train this model, whether it's the customer engagement side of the story or finance and operation app. So many organizations that I have seen, they try to focus and try to build their own Copilot, right? So those who join today, what is your few learning aspect, if at all, if they want to learn something new in this era of AI? I mean, what services that you need to focus in terms of learning from the Azure side of the story, or maybe if at all, if you want to use any Power Platform layer in between just to train my model.
Yeah, sure. So, with this, at least, Rakesh, I would say, like, first of all, the things which, at least I see with the people whom I interact is like, first we need to know the Gen AI feature. Okay. So there is an AI, there is an ML, then there is a deep learning, and then that comes about all those features over there. So what I would give a suggestion is like to everyone is to understand the AI, that is a principle, machine learning, again, an algorithm. Then comes a deep learning neural network. So that is something, there are very good courses available on the LinkedIn for that. So and the Microsoft sponsored as well. So those are the courses I would recommend to understand first from the perspective of like, okay, to understand what is AI, what is ML, and how we can generate the models. And that will actually give them an idea of whether we should build it or whether we should not. Because see, it is, to be very honest, it is really difficult to build something like a Copilot. Okay, and there are something which already large language models available in market. We can refine them further, and there is a fine tuning that we can do. But knowing this foundation, that will help them to understand what type of fine tuning we can do, and what type of models that we can train on top of that. Because if we talk about Google Bard or so those, there are a lot of good courses available. That is my recommendation to go as a first step, and that's we can have our large language models, because apart from dynamics, like I have seen some other industries where they have started on it, where they have built their LLMs, and not build their use some of the LLMs, and they're doing fine tuning on top of that by providing the data. That is how they can start building it. But yes, the foundation is necessary, and that's what I would say as to start with, because these are the very deep topics, and still I'm also learning. I'm also not an expert over here on the AI side of it, but yeah. And there is a good course from Microsoft that is there on the LinkedIn. So that is a free course. That is something I would recommend everyone to start with, at least to go on this journey. And there are some of the definitely the learn links, which let me quickly paste it over here so that at least everyone can get benefit of that. And I will also, sorry if the text is coming too big, and somehow the chat is not working for me, and it's coming out. And also this is my LinkedIn profile, so guys can connect me and we can discuss and learn more. So yeah, so if there, I think we are already on top of the hour, and I can see still people are there. That is really good to see that the lovely audience still there. And yeah, so Navneet, do you have any questions that you can see your hand raised, or?
No, it was the previous one. Sorry.
Okay, okay, yeah, thanks, no worries. Okay, thank you very much. I would say, Rakesh, and
Yeah,
thanks
thank you.
again, Rakesh, for
Thank you.
organizing
Thank you,
this
Kunal.
session and
Yeah.
giving me an opportunity to speak over here. So, yeah, thank you very much, and stay in touch
Thank you.
on LinkedIn. Yep,
Thank you.
you.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks, Kunal, for the
Yeah.
time and efforts. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Kunal.
Thank you.
Rakesh.
Thank you. Thank you, Rakesh. Thank you.